Hi all and welcome to this very short tutorial. Last week I made up a bit of a tank track tutorial, but I thought I'd make it a little bit better since it was a off-the-cuff tutorial. So here goes. Okay, so this week I'm going to make it a little bit simpler. So I'm going to make an individual piece of tank track by using a poly modeling. Let's make so I just want to make an individual piece of track here. So I'm going to just make this a little cube or something like that. I might give it a little bit of detail. So I'll give it like Control E. Extrude that in. Control E. And then I might extrude that in as well. So it's got a little bit of a grip to the bottom of the track. This isn't the best track ever, but you can spend time modeling that individual piece of track. Go back to object mode. So once again, model this better than what I've done. And I'm just going to take note of the size of this. So my size here, about a bit over 1 centimeter in width. See these grid lines? So it's a bit over 1. So I'm going to duplicate special this. I'm going to go edit, duplicate special, and I'm going to choose this little box here. Now this bit is very important. So I want to translate it. So I'm going to create a whole bunch of copies of this object. And each one of these copies is going to do this. So each one's going to either get bigger, rotate. So I just want these all to translate. So I'm going to change this to 0, the Y movement. So it's going to stay along that. And it's going to move. Each one's going to move along the x-axis, say 1.5. Okay. And I'm going to set this to say 100 copies, or we can try this a couple of times. Oops. And that's gone the wrong way, so I actually want to duplicate that along the z-axis. Let's try that again. So edit, I've undone a bunch of times. Duplicate special. And instead of translate along the x-axis, I'm going to translate along the z-axis, 1.5. Excellent. So now we have a very long track. Extremely long. Okay, so I'm going to join all these together. So I've selected them all. I'm just going to go mesh and combine. So now they're all one object. Okay, cool. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my track. So I'll draw that from the side view. And I'm going to choose my curves and this curve here. And you've obviously got an object to draw this from, unlike myself, so like that. I'm going to say there, and you can do this a bunch of times. And to close this, if your close function isn't working like mine, so I can choose the Bezier shape in the attribute editor and choose close. For some reason I must have a plugin gone astray here. So what I can do is just go into my object mode, choose curves, and open close. That's closed it. Cool. So I'm going to select my object and the curve. Go to Mesh tab, and don't forget, if you've lost your Mesh tab, Windows, Settings, Preferences, Plugin Manager, and Mesh. I'm going to choose this one here, deform along a path. So I've got to select the object first and then the NURBS curve. So I'll just do that once again. Select that, shift select the curve and run that around. Okay, so I've come up a little bit short for A, and for B I've actually got my curve, it's upside down. So I might play around with these settings. So I'll just shrink that down a little bit. And perhaps, no, that's not going to work. I can flip the axes. Nope. So I should be able to play around with this and get this correct. Okay, good. So I might bump this back up to envelope full. Scale to about here. Perfect. And hopefully I can set this around so that I've got this the right way. There we go. Nice. So I'll set this back into 0. And really I'm just playing around with these settings, to be honest. Negative 180. Go back to my view. And you might take a couple of goes to do this, but generally that's more or less a tank track. It could definitely use some work, but that's a very simple way of modeling something, a pattern that follows around such as a tank track. Okay, so that concludes this tutorial. Thank you very much.